on Connecticut's news station, a second day of sentencing. Peter Manfredonia back in court facing family of another victim involved in his crime spree.
And taking action against car thefts. Local leaders putting their foot down to stop thieves. What cars are being targeted tonight?
A brief warm-up on the way to finish the work week, then we are timing out some weekend rain coming up.
Plus the first 420 for recreational sales in Connecticut.
Think about recreation, it's a beautiful thing.
We're looking how the day got tied to marijuana.
A spring rite of passage in Preston and the Earth Day connection. I'm Jim Altman. More ahead from Wicked Tulips on the Fox 61 News.
Now at 6, this is Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us here on the news at 6. I'm Ben Goldman.
And I'm Jen Bernstein. Convicted murderer Peter Manfredonia back in court for another sentencing. The family of one of the victims, Ted Demers, arriving in court today looking for closure after Manfredonia killed Demers with a samurai sword and injured his neighbor.
Manfredonia now faces 55 years in prison. Fox 61's Matt Karen joining us live at Rockville Superior Court in Vernon with reaction from family members today. Matt.
Well, guys, this was a very emotional day in court. Peter Manfredonia, of course, the man who in 2020 killed his roommate, abducted his roommate's girlfriend, then committed a home invasion, murdered another man, then attacked an 80-year-old with a samurai sword, brutally attacking him. He was sentenced for the second time today in the last 48 hours for the murder of 62-year-old Ted Demers of Wellington. Manfredonia, of course, was the suspect who, after he committed all those crimes, led police on a multi-state manhunt before finally being tracked down days later in Maryland. Well, in court today, Manfredonia had to face several of his surviving victims, including 85-year-old John Franco. He was Ted Demers' neighbor at the time, ran to help Demers. That's when Manfredonia attacked him with a samurai sword, seriously injuring him. Franco told the court Manfredonia does not deserve to live. Then Donald Hipsky spoke. He was the man who Manfredonia held hostage during a home invasion. Hipsky saying the incident made him afraid to live in his own home. We now want to play you some sound. What you're about to hear is an apology from Peter Manfredonia, followed by a statement from the judge in this case.
There are no words that can possibly atone for what I have done. Know that I am sorry nonetheless. You have done nothing to deserve the pain that I have caused. My actions were nothing short of irreprehensible. I do not expect forgiveness for my actions, and I will regret them every day for the rest of my life.
The brutality of your crime I found shocking. I had a hard time speaking with your attorney and Mr. Gdansky regarding this sentence. I thought a harsher sentence should be put in place. But because of the victim's wishes, I didn't want them to have to live through this again.
Now that the judge got through delivering her statement, she then imposed an agreed-upon plea deal and sentenced Manfredonia to 55 years in prison. He would be 88 if he survives his sentence. This, of course, closing a very dark chapter in the lives of the family of Ted Demers and several other of his victims. We're live here at Rockville Superior Court in Vernon. Matt Karen, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
All right, Matt, thank you very much. Well, a group of attorneys general, including William Tong, is demanding a federal recall involving two of some of the largest car manufacturers in the world. We're talking about Kia and Hyundai. This after a spike in the theft of those cars. Fox 61's Julia LeBlanc joining us now live outside of Waterbury's police department with the very latest for us. Julia.
Hi, Jen. Good evening to you. Yeah, this has been a growing problem since 2021 when people started stealing Kias and Hyundais more often, and it's been happening here in Waterbury, too. Police say that since July of last year, more than 20% of all cars stolen in the Brass City have been those two brands.
I want them to pull these cars off the road now.
Attorney General William Tong sending a strong message calling for a federal recall involving two of some of the largest car companies in the world, Kia and Hyundai, which over the last few years have been targets to theft.
They know this is a problem. These vehicles are unsafe because they can be easily stolen.
Attorney General Tong was alerted to the issue back in 2021 when a social media trend surfaced on the popular platform TikTok, a how-to for stealing these specific cars.
2022 is when we started to see the do-it-yourself videos start to appear on the internet, and that's when we saw an increase here in Waterbury.
Waterbury Police Chief Fernando Spagnolo says since then, the trend has never slowed down. And for the Brass City, the problem doesn't stop at Kias and Hyundais. They average about 680 cars stolen per year. Already this year, the chief says 189 cars have been stolen.
We have some significant concerns about that. There are certainly Hyundais and Kias that are in the mix of those numbers.
And once the cars are stolen, Chief Spagnolo says they're usually used to commit crimes, only to be dumped somewhere.
We're seeing it in Waterbury here on a daily basis.
State attorneys general went to the companies back in March, calling on them to do something. Since then, they say there hasn't been much movement. So they're going straight to the feds, calling on the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration
To take vehicles manufactured between 2011 and 2022 off of the market that don't have anti-theft technology.
Now, we did hear back from Kia America, which says that they're aware of this issue and very focused on trying to fix it. They sent a statement saying, in part, quote, "To address these crimes, we continue to roll out a free, enhanced security software upgrade to restrict the unauthorized operation of vehicle ignition systems. And we are also providing steering wheel locks for impacted owners at no cost to them." Now, Attorney General Tong says that if you do own one of these cars, reach out to your dealer immediately and demand that they provide you with that software upgrade or a free steering wheel lock. He says if you don't get that help, call his office immediately. We are live here in Waterbury. Julia LeBlanc, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Julia, thank you. Another nice and sunny day out there across Connecticut.
Yeah, Chief Meteorologist Rachel Frank joining us now. Blue skies today, Rach.
Yeah, we had some clouds midday for a little while, but now, yes, blue skies overhead, and it looks like tomorrow will be even brighter and even warmer before the clouds roll in this weekend, and we are timing out the chance for some rain. 70 degrees in the Hartford area, closer to 60 though in New Haven, so the temperature is about 10 degrees different, and that's because of that chilly Long Island Sound, and that will also impact the temperatures for tomorrow. Well, we are expecting 70s for more areas across inland Connecticut, but just 60s for the Connecticut shoreline. But nothing to show you here on the satellite right now. Low temperatures tonight won't be as chilly as they were last night into this morning. By 11 o'clock at night, maybe you're gearing up for the news at 11 with us, temperatures will be in the low 50s, and we'll see overnight lows in the 40s for most of the state. There could be a couple spots in the upper 30s or cooler locations like Wyndham might be able to do it, but last night we were in the 30s, so it won't be as chilly to start off the day tomorrow. Otherwise, we're looking at plenty of sunshine, high temperatures climbing into the lower to perhaps even some middle 70s as we head through the afternoon, 60s for the Connecticut shoreline, and dry all day. But the clouds lower and thicken up heading into your Saturday. We're talking about the chance for rain as well, especially for the second half of the weekend. We'll gear you up for it so you can make outdoor plans and kind of work your way around it this weekend coming up.
Rachel, thank you. We do have an update now on a crash that shut down part of I-84 in Southington during rush hour last night. State police saying a person did die in that crash. It happened near exit 30. Police say a woman driving a Tesla lost control and hit another car, causing that car to roll over. The driver, identified as Giuseppina Valentino, was killed. The driver and passenger in the Tesla were not injured. Anyone who may have witnessed the crash should call police.
In Hamden, a homeowner burning leaves in the backyard led to a fire on West Easton Street. The fire department was called to the scene yesterday afternoon around 4 p.m. They say an investigation led to the discovery that a neighbor was burning branches and twigs in a barrel, and the fire spread to a fence before spreading to the cars parked near the house. The Hamden Fire Department is now taking the time to remind residents that open burning isn't allowed in certain fire danger levels, even with a burn permit.
We'll do tonight. Governor Ned Lamont responding to the legislature's budget proposal, saying it's not balanced and urging lawmakers to, quote, not play games.
Fox 61's political reporter Emma Wolfhorst joining us now in studio with the very latest for us. Emma.
Jen, Ben, the governor opened this morning talking to reporters, thanking the Appropriations Committee for coming forward with their budget proposal, praising the state for being in a much better position now than it was in years past, saying Connecticut has come a long way from chronic fiscal crisis and into a surplus. But Lamont gave a warning to lawmakers today not to play games with the budget. He says lawmakers didn't share all the same priorities as his office, his budget chief calling the legislature's proposal out of balance by about $240 million. The General Assembly's budget spends $400 million more than what Governor Ned Lamont proposed in February, putting more emphasis on health care and education and scaling back Lamont's proposed tax cuts. Today, though, the governor emphasizing the fiscal guardrails and spending caps recently renewed by the state legislature.
If you don't like the spending caps, vote them out. But don't play games. None of these gimmicks. So that'll be something we'll be discussing, I'm sure, over the next 6 weeks. But my pledge to you is we're going to get an honestly balanced budget without gimmicks, with a significant tax cut for the middle class, and honoring the commitments to the folks most in need.
And Senate Republicans praising the governor's comments today. Minority Leader Kevin Kelly saying he applauds Governor Lamont for continuing to push for a broad-based and robust tax cut for middle-class families. I also spoke with Senate Majority Leader Bob Duff. He told me the legislature and the governor aren't too far off and is confident heading into the next 6 weeks of budget negotiations. Jen, Ben.
All right, Emma, thank you. The Connecticut Board of Pardons and Paroles pausing prisoner commutations. This comes after pressure from the Republican legislators and families of victims of violent crimes last week, when news broke that commutations dramatically increased in 2022. The Board of Pardons granted 71 commutations in 2022, up from just 1 in 2021. Some attribute this increase to the COVID pandemic, putting everything on pause, but Republican lawmakers say it's a victory for families out there.